Well, hey friends, and welcome back to Washita Valley. Glad you could join me today. Well, so it's Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. Finished up the day doing a little bit of spraying. Did a lot of spraying today. And a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. So I've decided to go ahead and take on Jimmy's offer of becoming his baling contractor. And I talked to Dad some more, kind of figured out what my money situation might look like. And I gave Rusty a call last night. Now, surprisingly enough, Rusty said, "Oh yeah, I've got a hay baler you can use." And I said, "Well, what do you want for it?" And he said, "No, I'm not interested in selling it, but what I will do is lease it to you." So I said, "Okay, well, is it something you might sell in the future?" And he said, "No, um, it's not a real common baler, and you don't see them often, and that's kind of why I own it." He said, I enjoy collecting farming oddities that I find at these different auctions," and he said it's just really not something that I want to part with. But he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." He said, "I'll lease it to you for $3 a bale." So in other words, for every bale that I make with the baler, Rusty's going to get $3. Now Rusty's out of town. He's up at an auction, and so he's not even around. But his son is here, and his son helps him part of the time with his auction stuff, and so he got the baler out and got it ready, and this must be it right here. And that's some weird looking stuff over there too. We might have to check some of this stuff out while we're here. What is now? If you remember from a few episodes ago, that's Rusty's faithful Fendt tractor. But now, what is this? I mean, it's a combine, obviously, and this, I don't even know what this is. Looks like a swather, but that does not look like a swather. That looks like a pickup head that leads to nowhere, basically. And it definitely looks like it hasn't come from around here. Yeah, I'd say it's a swather with some kind of pickup head, but I'm a little bit confused as to what this thing does. Oh, you know what? I know what this is. This is a, oh shoot, what do you call it? It's a, it's a liner. I think that's what they call them in Europe, is a liner or a, it's like a hay rake. It's like a hay rake, but there's no actual rake part of it. It uses a pickup like a hay baler would use, and it's got an auger in it, like a kind of like a swather would have, and a merger. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a merger. So it picks the hay up. It picks the hay in the windrow up, and it moves it over to this side and drops it off. And then when you turn around and go the other way, it'll move hay from over here and drop it off in the windrow. So this is a way, I guess, to merge two windrows together. But I've never seen a self-propelled one. And I've never seen a swather that is not a hydrostat. I've never seen a swather like this that's not zero turn. Let me put it that way in layman's term. This thing has actually got steering linkage and like a steering cylinder. So in other words, it's not a, doesn't look like it just swings right around. This thing, the steering wheel actually controls the rear axle in this. Huh. That's very interesting. I've never seen anything like this. It's got a trailer hitch for the back. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is what. This is the equipment that we saw the other day in the shed back here. There's no wonder I didn't see the baler. It was probably in this shed. Now how... Man, this thing was cram-packed full if that hay baler was in here. Because I know the combine was sitting right around here. And I know that that liner, if that's what you want to call it, self-propelled hay rake, basically, was sitting here. I'll have to go back and look at my video. The baler must have been back in the back somewhere. These must have been part of the. These must be part of the oddities that that Rusty's telling me about, because I have certainly never seen a swather like that before, and this combine looks like it's something from the 70s, 60s maybe, but it's not. It doesn't look like a common brand. A bison or a bison. Bison? Is that how you say it? Anybody know how to pronounce this or where it's from? It's a Bison Super. Z056. I'd say it's more than likely a straw walker machine. Yep, you can see the walkers right there. Huh, that's interesting. Well, Rusty's son told me that he was going to meet me over here. And I guess I'll just wait around and wait for him to show up. Alright guys, we'll catch you here in a minute. Alright guys, well, we're all hooked up here. We're hooked up to the drawbar, that is. The PTO actually, it's a larger PTO, so it's a 1000 RPM PTO, and I could not, this tractor actually, you can see right there, it's got a 1000 PTO shaft. You actually you sort of just take the shaft out and you flip it over and you put it back in, and that changes it to 1000. But I couldn't get the shaft out, and I didn't want to tear anything up. I messed with it for a few minutes, and I decided, you know what, we're just going to leave the PTO shaft off, and we'll just go down the road. It's kind of got to use some baling wire and secured it, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But we're going to get going here just in a second. Now, I looked up some technical literature for this Krone Big Pack 12080. I looked up some sales literature for this thing, and apparently this thing was manufactured like back in the early 90s, so it's pretty old as far as big balers are concerned. Now, you guys might be familiar with the Krone brand. It's becoming, I think I'm saying that right. You know, I've always wondered, you know, it looks like Krone, but then their logo has a crown on it. So if you guys know in the comments, tell me, is it Krone or is it Crown? Because it looks like Krone, but there's a crown on the logo, and even on the newer machines, if you look closely, there's a crown. There's a crown logo. So tell me in the comments if you guys are familiar with this brand. If there's some of you guys are from Europe or whatever, explain it to me. Is it Krone or is it Crown? Okay, but anyways, getting back to it. So these things were made like in the early 90s, and when I was looking at the technical literature, technically this tractor should be able to run this baler. Now, it would be right on the edge of being able to run this baler, and I kind of have my doubts. Because this thing is actually it's a high density baler, and in order to achieve that, it uses a lot of force when when it crams the hay together. And inside this cover right here, there's a giant flywheel. And that flywheel takes a lot of power to get rolling. And that's probably doable with this tractor here, with the Fiat here, because it's 110 horsepower. So that part of it is probably doable. I just don't know that I could compress this hay and keep that flywheel running with any while having any kind of ground speed. I just don't know. I just don't know that I could accomplish that. But anyways, this is it. It's gonna cost me $3 a bale to bale with this thing, and yeah, it's basically just kind of on rent. We'll see how it goes. There's supposed to be very few hours on this thing. I mean, this thing looks pretty good. You can see that the pickup teeth and the auger down there, they're kind of shiny. So it's obviously had some usage, but the thing looks good. It's obviously been in a shed, and been pretty well cared for. Rusty's son, obviously he came by. I visited with him for a little while. He kind of gave me the ins and outs for this thing. He told me that whenever I get ready to start baling, if Rusty's not back, that he would come out and help me get things set up. That Rusty's son will come out and help me get things set up and make sure it's running right, and help me kind of troubleshoot if I have issues. But he got it out. He said he cleaned it up. There's twine in it. Actually, I think he said it's full of twine. He greased everything. He had it hooked up to the fent earlier. He said he ran it up. It went fine. So should be for the most part ready to go. And he kind of explained what the deal is with this thing over here as well. So I guess this is a machine. It's from Europe. It's European. How it got to the States, I guess Rusty doesn't know. But this is sort of apparently it's like a jack of all trades when it comes to processing hay. Because I was right. This thing is it's like a fancy hay rake or a liner or a merger or whatever you want to call it. That's what this attachment is. But this thing also has a header attachment that's makes it a swather. So I guess when Rusty found this thing, he found it at an auction somewhere, and it was going to just get sold for scrap. But Rusty he saved it, but it didn't have the combine header with it, or not the combine. It didn't have the swather header with it. It just had this liner that came with it. So one of Rusty's projects has been trying to find a header to go with this swather. So, anyways, that's kind of the story. And this, I guess, this combine here is from. He said it's from the former Soviet Union. So, again, wasn't exactly sure how it got over here, but got over here somehow. And Rusty just likes saving oddities, I guess, and putting them in his shed back there. So, okay, let's get rolling. We've got things to do and places to go and people to meet. All right, let's hit it. We still have to go and meet Jimmy at his place to kind of talk over this whole plans for getting this cut and all. So we've got to kind of hammer this down. Well, the tractor pulls it down the highway okay. You can definitely tell that this thing is back there. It kind of wants to shove the tractor around just a little bit. Now, one thing about it, I guess, this tractor's not really very heavy. It doesn't have any front weights. It doesn't really have any weight in the rear wheels or anything like that. So I guess I'm not surprised that it wants to shove it around just a little bit. So you may be wondering to yourselves, or you may be wondering out loud, okay, Cussler, if the tractor you're in, if you don't think that it will bail, and the only other tractor you have is the 3020, you have a baler, but how are you gonna run this baler? How are you gonna bale this hay? The longer answer to the question is that Rusty is looking around. You know, if you haven't seen the episode where I went and picked up the swather, Rusty, he's kind of a wheeler dealer when it comes to farm equipment and vehicles. He's up at some auctions like in Iowa, Illinois, Ohio area right now, and he's going to be gone for another couple of weeks. But he said he'll keep an eye out for any equipment, for any tractors that he thinks I might be interested in. I kind of gave him some guidelines and gave him some budgetary restraints. He said okay. He said that along with the auctions that he goes to, he knows a lot of people up there, a lot of dealers that are kind of like him, and so he's going to look around. He kind of had one tractor maybe in mind. He had already talked to somebody earlier that day and told him what I was looking for, and I guess apparently the guy used to be an Alice Chalmers dealer way back in the day before they got bought out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I may end up with an Alice Chalmers tractor. So we'll see. But he's so anyways, Rusty, he's keeping an eye out, and he is going to let me know what he finds. It's pretty unlikely that I'll have anything by the time I'm ready to start baling this hay though. Alright guys, we're going to catch up with you here in a few when we get a little bit closer to home. Alright guys, we're back. We are a little closer to home than we were. If you don't recognize this right over here to the left of me, or to the right of me rather, that's a Krieger place, to kind of give you an idea of where we are. And I was driving by here earlier today on the way over here, and I think my dad's grass back there behind those trees is about ready to cut again. So that may be happening after I get this work for Jimmy finished. To the right there again, those are Kurt Stevens. Those are his soybeans, and they are looking more and more ready every day, and it won't be long before it's time to start combining those. There's actually quite a few fall crops around this year. It seems like everybody's rotation just sort of favored the fall crops all at once, because I know Kurt's got quite a few acres of beans. Steve Thomas, he has got quite a few acres of beans and corn. Kurt's got quite a few acres of corn. So that'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of combining and harvesting to do in the next few weeks here. I guess it's probably time for the headlights now that I am getting ready to get on the highway. So the fall crops that brings up another point I was going to mention in this episode today. I've been kicking around the idea of going back to releasing an episode every week, or at least an episode every week. And so what I've been thinking about doing, and let me know what you think about this in the comments below, because as a loyal viewership that it seems like I have, I would like to know what you guys think about this. So there's a lot of things that I do on a daily basis that some of you might find interesting. Now, it's not every day that I have, a groundbreaking conversation with anybody or something like that, but there's a lot of work that I do for the co-op on a daily basis. There's a lot of work that I'm going to start doing as far as hay goes. I'll be helping Kurt some harvest his wheat and his soybeans this fall. So I've been thinking about starting to publish some, I would call them extras videos, to go along with my vlog that I've been putting out. And so basically what would happen is the vlog episodes would still be they would still be every other week, and I would basically highlight the conversations I have with folks, give a more higher level of detail of what's going on and what's happening. And then my extra videos would be just kind of whenever I feel like releasing one, and they would be just more of a here's what I'm doing in the field today type work, or here's what I'm doing at the co-op today type of an episode. So let me know what you guys think, because the less editing and all that I have to do with these videos, the more I can put out on a weekly or multiples a week. So if you guys are interested in seeing more field work and more day-to-day co-op operations type videos, let me know in the comments, because that's something I'm kicking around. I just don't know. I know in the past a lot of you have said, boy, we sure miss the conversations and the getting to talk to the other people that you meet. And these new videos, these extras videos, would be more of just like, here's what I'm doing in the field. We got to get this done today, so let's go do it type videos. So if you would, let me know what you think below in the comments, and I may start churning some extra videos out. Okay, now the last thing we got to do today, before it gets too dark, we got to run up and talk to Jimmy about kind of what he wants and kind of what his plan is for this first field that we're going to be cutting and baling for him. So let's get going and run up and talk to him. Well, folks, lo and behold, it has started to rain. And since it is raining, it also got darker earlier than I thought it was going to. But anyways, I called Jimmy and he said, yeah, just come on ahead and we can talk about this, and you can just kind of get a general idea of what we need to do. Now, I mean, I've seen this field before, so it's not like I've never seen the area before or anything like that. He's got a pivot on it. You can just kind of see it over there. He's got a pivot irrigation system on it, and so it should be pretty consistent yields, I think, as far as rain and such goes. All right, I think he said he was gonna hop in with me, so we'll just hang out here for a second until he hops in. So this field is like, I think he said is about 130 acres or so, and it's not exactly square. There's kind of a piece back there to the right of those trees you see that's not under irrigation. But for the most part, the whole field is under this center pivot irrigation system. Hello, Jimmy. Cussler. Thanks for stopping by. I just want to give you an idea of what you're looking at here. Okay, sounds good. I think this might be the squarest, flattest hayfield I've ever seen. What kind of grass is this anyway? It's a mix of brome, orchard grass, and a couple others. This mix doesn't yield as well as alfalfa, but it works well in the rotation. How are you coming with equipment? Well, I've worked out a deal to rent a 3x4 baler, and I'm waiting to hear back about a tractor. What kind of baler did you find? It's a Krone 120-80. 120-80, huh? I've never seen one of those. Well, neither had I until I picked it up from a museum. A museum? I knew you'd figure something out. You're a sharp kid. I just hope it works as advertised. When you want me to start cutting? I'd like you to come on Saturday and cut the outside rounds. I want you to bale that before you cut any more. That way we know all your equipment's going to work all right. Okay. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. The last thing I want to do is cut it and then not be able to bale it. Right. Once that's finished, I want you to cut and bale this field in 2 sections for that same reason. No offense, but I've got to make sure your stuff's good to go before you get carried away. None taken. I imagine you'll do most of your work in the evenings and at night, which will work out fine because I'll have a wrapping crew move the bales off during the day. Ah, so these are getting wrapped. Yes, a crew will come here and bring an inline wrapper, and some of the bales will get moved over to my feed facility and wrapped there. That'd be pretty cool to see. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay, Jimmy. Well, I'm gonna run. I will let you know when I get the tractor figured out. Good luck. Well, that was certainly shorter and more to the point than I thought it was going to be. Part of it is probably because it's raining and it's dark now. I guess I should have... it took me a little longer to get that baler than I thought it would. I guess I shouldn't have dilly-dallied by Rusty's as much as I did. But anyways, guys, thanks for following along this week. Let me know what you think about the extras videos, because I'm really interested to know. I enjoy putting content out, but I just feel like sometimes there's not enough interesting things going on. But I don't know. You guys may want to see what it's like day to day for me. So let me know in the comments, guys. Thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate all my subscribers. I'm pretty close to 200, to hitting the 200 mark. So, guys, if there's anything you'd like to see or you'd like me to show more of or less of, please let me know. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.